So when I grew up, I never went to church at all, and I'd always wanted to go. I just didn't know how to get involved and or how to go about it. And so I started dating Seth, and he never pressured me into it, and he was just he was just told me I was always welcome to come, and so that was a big deal because I was always sort of afraid to go because I was worried that I would be judged for how little I knew about the Bible or about church in general. And so when I started going, it was really helpful to not be pressured into it, and Seth and his family just showed me so much love, and then his extended family like Brian and Mr. Gary and Miss Lydia just showed me so much love, and it really helped out with what I knew Christ was doing in my life, and it helped me figure out where I should be and what I need to be doing.
So then, once you came to church, how did the people at church treat you?
At church, everyone was just so loving. I got big hugs from everybody every day, every time I went, and they just it wasn't about no one was questioning me and asking me what I knew, and no one was oh, you don't know this, and it was just helpful because I was just there to feel loved by people and love other people and love Jesus, and it was just it was a great feeling to know that that existed and that's how church was.
Okay, and then so how did you start learning? Were you going to classes or life group? Or
we'd go to church and then we'd go to class afterwards, and then we started doing life group, and so that was just with the seniors, and that's probably where I learned the most. And we'd Mr. Gary would teach a lesson, and then we would talk about it afterwards, and that's where I learned the most about the Bible and what to believe. And
okay, and so had you thought about being baptized? What did you know about being baptized? And
I knew that it had popped into my head a few times. I didn't really know how to go about it because no one had ever brought it up to me, but I just knew that it was something that I wanted to do because I did feel loved, and I knew Jesus was Jesus. I just knew that it was something that I needed to do. I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know if I should go up to Seth or approach you, and then but it was something that I wanted to happen.
So tell about the day that you got baptized. While we were there, and
so we were at a blood drive, and me and Mr. Gary were working together, and we were just talking and being just making conversation, and then he brought up baptism and what I thought about it and what I knew about it, and he was like, well, have you ever thought about being rebaptized? Because I was sprinkled as a child, but that's and I was like, yeah, I mean, I've really thought about it, I just don't know, I mean, I would love to. And then he was like, well, and it just kind of all fell into place. He read me scriptures, and I started crying, I couldn't keep it in, and he started crying, and then we both just knew that it was the right time, and I was ready, and it just perfectly fell into place. So after we decided that it was going to be that day and we were going to do it, we decided to do it after church with the youth group there, and it was just really surreal. Before it happened, we went to the prayer garden, and we started calling my family and telling people that I decided that I wanted to be baptized, and it was just really emotional. It's hard to explain because it was just so it was such a big moment. And so we decided, and then I was in front of the youth group, and I was crying the whole time, and I just knew I was in the right place and I was doing the right thing. And afterwards we met in the lobby and took a bunch of pictures, and that really helped bring my family closer, my church family, because everyone was talking and everything, and I just felt so much love from everybody. So many people came just to watch, and it was just it was a great feeling to know that I had this, and I'm making the right decision, and I know that I'm in the right place right now, and just to feel God there with me the whole time.
And so now you're back home, and how'd you end up? You're going to camp, and
so one day Mr. Gary just sends me a text, would you like to be a church camp counselor? And I freaked out. I was like, yes, it'll be so fun. I've never been to church camp, but I went for a day with Seth for 2 years in a row, and it looked like it was so much fun and so awesome, and I got really excited, and then I told him I'd love to, and he said, I think you'd be great at it. I was like, I hope so. And it just worked out really well, and I'm really excited to be here and with Lauren in my cabin and with all the girls, and to help all the kids and be here working.
So what would you say to the kids that are camp to encourage them to be to other people the way that people were to you? What advice would you give to coaching or encouragement to reach out to people?
I'd say the best thing to do is just show love. I mean, that's the theme of camp, but that's really just like what it's all about. Like, love God, love others. It's really just all about love. And like, once you show love to other people, you're gonna feel their love, and like it'll just all like work out to where it's just like one big happy family. And it really makes a difference to just be happy and be where you are, and to just like be there and be so like enamored with Jesus and everything that he's done for us, and just love him and love other people.
It's worth holding.